Welcome to Thor 101. I want to go over the routing of Thor. It's the most fundamental thing that you need to learn about to get to operate this beast of a synthesizer. It can look daunting, with all these little routing arrows and these knobs and faders, and it can be kind of complicated if you let it be. But I'm going to clear it up for you. We all understand that oscillators are the sound source. This is where everything starts, right here. The signal then flows to the mixer. This mixer here is a mixer for the oscillators. And with this fader here, I can turn the volume up and down for oscillators 1 and 2. And this one is for oscillator 3. And I can adjust the balance between 1 and 2. From the mixer, the signal goes to the filters. And you can enable what oscillators go to what filters with the filter enable buttons right here and here. These 3 are for filter 1, these 3 are for filter 2. And the number 1 corresponds to oscillator 1, oscillator 2, and oscillator 3. We'll start with filter 1. From filter 1, the signal goes through the shaper, and it is the only filter that will go through the shaper. And then it goes out to the amp, into the global section, and out the output. From the mixer here, you can go into filter 2, and then go out to the amp, into the global section, and out to the main outs. And that's it. It's pretty simple. Okay, there's just a couple more things. With these routing buttons right here, what they allow you to do is, if you're just using one filter, this would be the setting. You could have 1 or 3 or 2 oscillators going through filter 1. You could have the shaper on with this button here, going out to the amp. That's what this routing shows. Say you want filter 2 going through, you want oscillator 2 going to filter 2, and oscillator 1 going through filter 1. This would be the setting. If you want to run filter 1 signal through filter 2, so you'd have 2 filters on oscillator 1, all you have to do is reroute it. This button reroutes the signal into filter 2 and then out to the amp. This button routes the filter to the amp, bypassing filter 2. And that is it. That is the routing of the basic routing of Thor. So let's see it in action. I'm going to call up an oscillator. I'm going to hit run. Let's call up another oscillator. Let's enable it. And now we can adjust. See? Let's call up a third oscillator. And let's enable it. But let's enable it down here instead. So we need to pass filter 2 to the amp. And I want oscillator 3 going through this filter. And I can adjust the volume here. I can then, if I want, to turn on the shaper. And the shaper is now affecting oscillator 1 and 2. it's not affecting oscillator 3. Now what I'm going to do is run them all through filter 2 and call up a comb filter. Or let's go to a format. I'm affecting all the oscillators right now. All 3 oscillators are being affected by the formant. If I do it, reroute the filter 1, now I'm just affecting oscillator 3. Because it's the only one being routed through filter 2. That is pretty simple stuff. If you never understood it, now you do. It's very, very simple once you just understand a couple things. And that's how you route your oscillators through the different filters, and how you run them through the shaper, filter 1 through the shaper, and how you can either run them in parallel or serial.